Couldn't get any relief that I was suicidal. I couldn't get housing, and I keep getting put out and mistreated at a multitude of locations and set up. So I told them I was suicidal because I could not escape my abuse.
So the situation of the okay. So what's the plan right now?
I don't know. They gave me some medication, and I keep getting denied services, and no one's reporting any of my abuse or any of the things that I keep reporting to them. So I don't know.
What did they give you exactly?
They gave me Seroquel.
Okay. What's the milligrams on it?
100.
Okay. Anything else that they discharged you with?
No, that was it.
Okay. So you went to the hospital for about a week because you were put out at the bridge, correct? And then
for her, I reported harassment.
Uh-huh.
I was reporting harassment, and I'm not being heard for years about the psychological abuse I've had to endure.
Mm-hmm.
And people just keep trying to frame me with mental illness and covering for all the abuse that I have to endure for years.
And Metrocare, like the ACT program, have been trying to contact you to do that program. Are you interested in doing that?
Yeah, though, are they going to help me with housing because it's been sabotaged?
So how housing works is they do put you on the list. I mean, Metrocare does help with housing too, but because of the long wait list.
Well, I spoke with someone that told me that they were going to be 3 months. I faxed my ID, my social security card, check stubs, went back and forth with him, and he said it'd be 3 months, and then I never heard from him again.
I don't know anything. Who did you try to speak to exactly?
Let me get his information. It was at another location, but if they have programs, why would so many people sabotage my housing everywhere I'm at?
Who's trying to sabotage your housing?
I just told you that I gave him an ID and a social security card, and then people are playing games with housing here.
Well, no. Well, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that directly. I don't know who the person that you talked to about it though. Do you know? Was it the bridge or someone?
It was someone that I was referred to from the Westmoreland location, from Adrian Goodwin. And I've asked her who she was. That I've called her multiple times trying to get an update on who she had me give my personal information to, because they haven't responded after I sent out my personal information. And I'm not being heard. I'm sorry?
Who's Adrian?
She's a social worker from the Westmoreland location that sabotaged housing for years. And then Akia did it and forced me to live in a tent from the Lancaster location, afraid for my life.
So I don't have any information on that part.
You do have information because I'm reporting it to you. I'm reporting that Akia, the social worker.
I don't know anything about that though. But
you do, because I'm informing you of it. The history of a pattern for years of social workers in a multitude of locations depriving me of housing. Because in a crisis, the number 2 reasons a person would stay in abuse is the lack of housing, shelter, and not having a support system. So if you are a person that can sabotage that, if you could, you would prevent a woman from getting both housing and shelter to escape you if someone had that much power to abuse and a support system. Because those are the 2 main reasons women stay in abuse and can't flee. But of course, no one would give anyone that much power to abuse.
So my recommendation would be, to follow up with whoever you spoke to about the information, because there's nothing I can do with housing.
She told me I could speak with a social worker, but I'm just reporting a history as my psychiatrist, what I've had to endure, my experiences, that I'm getting tortured and violated and have no remedy. And then there's child abuse, and no one is willing to report it.
So, I know you last time when I spoke to you, when you were interested in doing therapy.
Yes, George, yeah. You told me. Remember you told me that I couldn't get it.
No, I didn't say you couldn't get it.
You said that they were busy. You said that they were busy.
Yes. But I can't. Yes, but I said that if they have availability, you could do it, but I can't dictate their schedule. So if they have availability, they can do it.
You never did connect me with George. They connected me with George at our calling.
Okay.
I did not know that they had therapy. You wouldn't connect me with a therapist. You told me that if they had availability and they're really busy and you don't know, and then you basically told me that you couldn't, and then you gave me your information on the card, and then you told me that you had to stop seeing me because I wasn't taking medication.
So what is the reason for today's appointment, um, Miss Clark?
I don't. I said a lot to you. I don't know
Yes,
why I
but
can't. I'm
but
repetitively
so
not heard.
what would you? But what do you want me to do at this time? What can we focus on?
I don't. I want
I
you to be like a therapist and give me direction, a
I
psychiatrist.
I can't help with resources like housing.
I
I
just.
can
I mean, what would your education and your
my
knowledge?
recommendation, like, and I told you this before, is what I talk to you is you don't like what I say. I recommend being taking the medication because when I talk to you,
I
Miss
just
Clark,
told you I was wanting here for Seroquel.
I know, but this is prior visits,
We
prior
that's
visits.
irrelevant because I'm here now. That would
Okay,
going in that would just be stressful and irrelevant.
okay.
Because
I'm not
I'm
trying to
getting
upset
after
you.
I told you the medication and the milligrams, and I'm
Okay,
trying to
then
minimize my stress because I'm not being heard of years of the
okay,
oppression.
okay. I can do the Seroquel and I can continue that medication. You can pick it up here. It probably won't be ready by today, but probably tomorrow because we don't have a pharmacy on site, so we can pick
Okay,
up the
that's
medication.
fine.
Okay. And then we can basically follow up to see how you're doing with the medication. How long have you been on it so far?
Since May 22nd, they could had me going back and forth from Halidol to the Seroquel.
Why did they switch to? Was there any reason to switch to
They
Haldol to
were
Health?
trying to punish me in the hospital, and would stage a reason to keep me in the hospital past the time. So they had me on the Seroquel, and then they said that they were keeping me in the hospital because I wasn't taking Halidol. So these crimes are enforced. They want to make sure that there's no avenue of no remedy for these crimes being committed. So they con that they wanted me on Halidol when I was taking Seroquel to keep me in the hospital. So that was the 18th time that I had been violated and my freedom was taken, and nothing's being done.
That is a very stressful situation that you've been dealing with. So what's the next step forward right now, Miss Clark? With the current situation that you're in right now.
I don't know. Would like an advocate and a support system, but I haven't really had that to help me get on the right track. Because I mean, how do you combat that? If there's your requirement to report abuse and child abuse, and you're not doing it, I thought it was a crime, but no one will do it.
Well, and you can do it yourself too with the police. But I'm saying though
I'm
is
not able to. I'm not. I was arrested at CPS for trying to do a report in Arlington,
um,
and then the police came and banned me from all the Dallas locations to make sure I didn't get help there.
Miss Clark, what about the homeless situation that you're dealing with right now? Where are you planning to go?
Well, right now I'm here at the bridge.
Oh, you're able
Yeah,
to
but
go.
it's
Okay, okay.
highly abusive here. I'd like to have another environment if possible. I tried to get into Union Gospel Mission at our calling, and they deprived me of that right. Today they had a sign up, and security enforced that I wasn't able to sign up because there was abuse here at this location.
UGM, the one near here. I thought that's mostly for men. Is there
They
one
have
around?
one for women.
Oh, okay, I think it's a farther location, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, I don't have any answers to the situation, but I would say that it is safer here than outside because.
Oh, of course.
But in the meantime, though, Miss Clark, I will. I can continue the Seroquel if that's what you like. If it helps with your mood, and just help with sleep. I'm not trying to be rude. I will document everything that you told me. Um, are there? I know, have there been a change in caseworkers at the bridge too? Or are you seeing a different one or same one?
It's the same one, Ivan.
Okay. Ivan. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's not
What do y'all
willing to
talk
help
about?
me. But I would like to progress with MHMR because they have more opportunity and it's faster. But
With
multiple caseworkers and people with HMR, I have a history of people being dishonest around me. So I would like to have a choice and not because it is criminal to conspire to violate someone's rights. That is a crime.
yes.
I think we've talked about it before when you said that there would be issues with the therapy.
I thought we're not okay. I thought we're not trying to talk about anything that's trying to upset you about the past.
Oh, okay.
Um, but I can do the Seroquel. I'll get follow up to see how things are going. I guess I have
Shit,
to
I'm
see.
sorry.
I have to see
Because
about
I have
the.
another appointment with Ivan. Okay.
Oh, you have an appointment soon?
Yeah, at 2:45.
Okay. I won't keep up your time then. But I'll put the medication, and you can pick it up tomorrow, and then we can follow up in a few weeks. Okay? But
Okay.
you're not trying to hurt yourself, right?
No, I would like a remedy. I don't understand why all people in my environment won't report my abuse. I thought it was imperative if you had a person that's supposedly so mentally ill and you're concerned about their mental health and their mental clarity, if they
Are
were
you saying
vulnerable.
are you saying that you're severely mentally ill? That
I'm saying that if I had, will be, you said the EC team has been trying to contact me? Okay.
yes.
So a lot of people have been trying to contact me but have my number and I don't get it. I don't know if there's something going on with my phone. Because I haven't got anything from the EC team trying to contact me.
What is your phone number?
It's a new number. Let me check. No, they had the number, but it's a new number. I can't remember it.
Maybe that's a best way to contact. But
Okay, so the
Seroquel.
EC team, their job is to help with housing. You said you don't.
I'm not too familiar with how they act because I'm not part of that program.
Okay.
That's more of a Westmoreland Pacific program. But I'm not too sure. To give you an honest answer, I don't know how the ACT team process their treatment. But I'll let them know that that you want to be still continuing the ACT team.
Oh, so I would have to commute all the way to Westmoreland? I would have to commute all the way to Westmoreland for services?
I'm not like I said. I don't know how they. I don't know. I'm not familiar how their process works.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I understand. So right now I'm at the bridge and there's an MHMR. And there's a social worker here.
But they're not part of the ACT program, though.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so right now I'm at the bridge and there's a social worker here. But I can't use that social worker. I have to be forwarded to Westmoreland to use a social worker there.
Well, different social workers work on different things, but I don't know what the social workers here. But I know the ACT team is specifically at
Okay,
that location.
I'm confused. But
because
hold on. Because obviously, if I'm here, it would make more sense for me to use the available social worker here at this convenient location instead of having me.
But we're not part of the ACT program here.
Well, if it doesn't have to be the ACT program, because it would make sense for me to get services in my environment and not be forwarded over to another environment.
I'm still gonna follow up with you, and you can still follow up with the caseworkers at the bridge. But I'm just saying.
Okay,
that,
hold on. Isn't there an MHMR social worker here in this environment?
There's a caseworker, yes.
Okay, so she told me that that was legal, and then wouldn't talk to me again, and she told me that that was legal, and she had to talk to her supervisor. Then
legal? What? What are you talking
legal
about?
that you had legal assistance because I asked her about legal. I had
not this place. Maybe are you talking about the bridge? Because we don't have legal assistance
okay.
here.
Okay, so I talked with the social worker. I'm just telling you what happened, and she said they had legal, but they had to verify. She had to verify with her supervisor. So then when I came back to talk to the social worker, she told me that she was not, told me through someone else that she was not going to help me and to go through the bridge staff. But
So you're talking about the bridge stuff. We're not connected
No,
with
the social
bridge.
worker, I'm not being heard. The social worker with MHMR would not tell me how they could assist here at this location. Okay,
I don't know anything about that.
I'm expressing it. I don't know why multiple parties say I don't know anything about it, and I'm communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so what do you? Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
so I just don't know because the social worker, you have a social worker here, and I'm being forwarded to another location, which would inconvenience me.
So the social worker that you're talking, the social worker that you're talking about, is the work that you're talking with the bridge.
I'm not being heard. MHMR. MHMR social worker here.
You're talking about Ivan, the social worker?
No, MHMR.
Here, so you spoke to someone here.
Yes. You didn't know that they had a social worker here?
No, I do, but there shouldn't be anyone that's telling you that we do legal matters here.
She just said that there was legal, but she's not offering any services. She's retracted on all the services and said that I had to go through Ivan, which is sabotaging assistance here.
So what is your question exactly?
I don't know why you would refer me over to Westmoreland if you have a social worker here. I'm not comprehending why I would be denied.
Because because if you want to do the ACT program,
I didn't say that I wanted to do the ACT. That's what you referred me to. If there's a social worker here, why would I have to commute all the way to Westmoreland if there's a social worker here that can assist? I'm not understanding. Because it sounds like that there are schemes to violate my rights, which is a felony charge. I thought it was a felony. Because if you have a social worker here and all these cons to sabotage me getting assistance all over the place, leaving me in jeopardy. Because if there's a social worker here, I just keep getting forwarded all over the place for years to never get.
Clark, to make things easier,
okay,
you can use the resources here. You can use the social worker here. No one's denying you service. I'm still gonna follow up with you, and I want to prescribe the medication. There's nothing that we're doing that's saying that you don't need to come back. I'm just saying though that the Westmoreland is the one that does the ACT program. And I think it's an extra service that if you want to utilize.
I'm not being heard. I went through a Kia, and she had me living in the tent, and they had 24-hour emergency shelter, and she bullied me and violated me at CPS, trying to expose the government's crimes of interference with child custody. And then I'm not being heard, sir. Did you hear my therapist?
I know you said you had to still go see Ivan.
And then we had Adrian with MHMR at the Westmoreland location that played games and would not give me housing and had me live in a sober living environment, and I had no drug addiction, and then would call and start arguments. So I think that as a therapist and me having a psychiatrist, these things are vital so that you be educated and informed of. There's a history of me being violated. And I'm telling you about CPS and the Kia and how these people sabotage shelter, and I'm not repeatedly not being heard, and there was psychological damage because she'd call and start arguments all the time. And I don't know why people, that have the power and control and, abuse it and violate someone that's already emotionally vulnerable. You take their power and abuse it.
So let's continue with the plan. I'm going to prescribe the Seroquel. I'm going to see you back in a few weeks, and then we'll go with there, okay?
Okay, so as for the social worker, I'll wait to see what she has to say, because I guess you weren't aware that you had a social worker here?
So you can see the social worker. I don't know. You can see the social worker here. I don't know what specific social worker that you want to speak to, but...
Okay, hold on.
So we're gonna end the conversation because I don't want to go in the circle, but
I don't know why we'd be going in a social. You just heard about a crisis, and you obviously would be educated and know that a social worker would be vital in the crisis I just explained to you.
Okay.
So I don't know why we would be going in a circle because I want education on the social worker.
I'm going to prescribe the medication. I'm going to tell the friend that you want to see social worker services here, and that can be done, okay?
Good.
Okay. But pick up the medication. I'll see you back, and you said you have a 2:45 with Ivan. It's past 2:45 now.
Oh, I didn't know. What time is it?
2:51.
Okay, let me go ahead and get over to him. Okay, thank you. Should have been looking at